We love when we meet people that are just as passionate about helping and serving military families as we are here at Veterans One. And right now our next guest is no different. We have Flossie Hall. Flossie, so great to sit and talk with you.
Yeah, great to be here. Thanks for having me.
So I already know that you're passionate and love what you do working with the Rosie Network, but I want to hear a little bit about you first. Why don't you just share with us your background and what led you into this group?
So I'm a military spouse, active duty. My husband's been in the Navy for almost 18 years now. I have 4 beautiful, exhaustive children.
I get that.
Yeah.
And thank you for serving, because it's the whole family that serves.
Oh, thank you.
So thank you for your 18 years of serving alongside him.
Absolutely. It's, there's a lot of sacrifices made throughout the entire family unit, so we appreciate that. So a little bit about my background. We first moved to San Diego about 8 years ago, and my path was actually supposed to be through medicine. And I graduated from school and was supposed to become a doctor, and with 4 kids and a military husband, that's not always the best path. So that didn't work out for me, so I became an accidental entrepreneur, and I started a company.
I like that.
Yeah. I say, as a spouse, we learn to curve and swerve, and we kind of have to curve and swerve, and I happened to swerve into entrepreneurship. And I started my own company in 2015 called Healthy Mama. And we had a tremendous amount of success. We did about 500,000 meals in 2.5 years here in San Diego.
That's huge.
Yeah, and it was totally on accident, but it was a crash course MBA from start to finish. And I say when I write a book someday about it, it'll be titled "How Not to Start a Business," because I had to do everything wrong twice to do it the right way. But I was a part of the Rosie Network's programming during that time, and they offered guidance. So when I exited my company last year, because mass food production was not my ultimate dream, even though I built something really great and awesome, I wanted to go on and teach other military spouses entrepreneurship and try to make their road a little less painful. So now that's kind of what I do at the Rosie Network.
So all the bumps in the road that you face now, you're bringing all of that expertise and talent and pain into this. It sounds like you're a perfect fit. Let's jump in a little more to the Rosie Network then. Tell us exactly what it is you're doing and what they're doing and how we can support that.
Yeah, so the Rosie Network was founded in 2012 by Stephanie Brown, our fearless leader, who is phenomenal. She's a military spouse, retired of 30 years.
Wow.
And her husband served 30 years in the SEAL team. So rough and rugged entrepreneur herself, and she created the Rosie Network to help military spouses and veterans start, launch, and grow their businesses. So we started in San Diego, and last year when I joined, her dream had always been to get the program out of San Diego. And because one of my superpowers happens to be growth and scaling and this whole world domination thing that everyone makes fun of me, I don't think small. In 9 months now, we've been creating the program and trying to get that out of San Diego. So now we are already launched in 2 other cities, and we're launching in 5 more in the next 6 months.
So you guys are really helping with entrepreneur. I always struggle on that word.
It's the worst
Entrepreneur
word.
support. It really is, and don't ask me to spell it either.
No, I know.
So you guys are really helping people get their businesses started, because there, as you learned, so much involved with that. There's already the discipline and structure that goes with already being in the military, but now you can take that and pair it. How are you guys, what kind of things are you seeing, what kind of projects and businesses are you seeing grow with the support of Rosie Network?
So it's great is that we have all these great national hiring initiatives for military spouses, and we just found that military spouses still have the highest unemployment rate in the country out of any minority group, and we just don't traditionally fit into an employment box. That we're trying to advocate that entrepreneurship is a way to work for yourself, to work from home, to work through PCS moves, to work from all over the world, to work while your spouse is deployed, to work while the kids are at school, or grow it into something bigger, but to take control of your own path when you live this lifestyle where you feel like you don't have any control. So the Rosie Network has a great program. So we offer a cohort-style curriculum. You come in, and it's the new programs that we have for Rosie chapters are for military spouses only, which is great because spouses thrive in a spouse-only environment of that support of fellow spouses that are going through that same stuff. My spouse is deployed, my kids are having breakdowns. How do I find my own path when we're often on the back burner is what we say.
Sure, that's a whole different element of work-life balance.
Exactly.
In that compartment, absolutely.
Yeah, so we just bring them in and we put them in a cohort-style classroom, and we put them through these modules and this training and curriculum, and we partner them with community resources and one-on-one mentorship, and we just say, what is success to you and how can we help you? And some don't even have a company yet, they're just thinking about it. And some have them and they just don't know where to take it or the next step, or some want to grow it and make it that next Qualcomm. So who can we connect them to in the community, and what kind of resources can we give them to make them successful? Again, what have I done in my bumps and bruises in the road, and how can we take that and now scale that in other cities? So we're very excited to be doing this and touching so many military spouses.
Oh, absolutely. I bet you've seen some of them have kind of that aha moment.
Oh, yeah.
Where you see it click, and then you know, all right, they're going to be okay. What does that feel like for you when you see that happen?
It's phenomenal because as a spouse, you feel lost a lot, and you kind of forget that you are a person too. And we just kind of remind them that you are allowed to have your own path. You're allowed to be a person. You're allowed to chase your dreams. You're allowed to have some purpose. And that doesn't always mean volunteer work. That can mean a career, and it can mean something that you care about doing. So when you see a spouse that we talk to them and their passion was teaching, but they couldn't transfer licensing, and all of a sudden they start an online tutoring business, and they start hiring other military spouses, and then they're bringing in income for their family, so they're not as stressed out, and they feel confident and they're happy.
Changes
and
everything.
It's like night or day. It gives me goosebumps
Yeah.
because I was that spouse, you know what I mean? And now I have passion and purpose in my life, but I did feel that, when's it my turn? And we just tell spouses, your turn is now, right now. Make the choice to make it now. And we just help guide that conversation a little bit of making them speak up and start thinking about themselves.
Well, it's so exciting because you're helping, it's like one family at a time you're making a difference. And what's awesome is the legacy that then they're passing that down to their kids. Now there's tools in that family. They've got all the discipline and the military training. Now you're putting that entrepreneurship training. I did it right that time. And then now you're passing that down, and those kids are getting both of that. I think you're going to see multiple generations now benefiting from what you guys are doing, and I think that's fantastic. How can our viewers, how can we support and help?
So right now, as we grow, we have more demand for our program than we can keep up with. So advocacy is a big part of what we do. We advocate all the way up to Washington, D.C. to get spouse laws changed, to just make it part of the conversation. We say there's two sides of the military coin. There's a veteran and the active duty member, but there's always the military spouse. And if they're both not thriving, then there's something that's off in the family, and the whole family can't thrive as a whole. So just making sure that the military spouse is always part of the conversation, and that when we're bringing new resources and services to veterans and to active duty service members who we love, we all have them at home, but that we're also serving our military spouses and their needs as well. So just making sure that the conversation is the whole family unit. So that's a big part of how we can help.
I love it. Thank you. You guys are making such a huge difference. Will you come back again sometime and give us updates and tell us how more we can support?
Absolutely.
It's fantastic. Thanks, Flossie.
Yeah.
There are so many ways that we can support our military families. What a great example of that. We'll be right back with more Veterans One.